Wake up, got a little small run in the morning, stretching at 9, start running the day at probably 10:15, warm up 15 minutes, go back, get some gas, probably do sections for 45 minutes, work on technique, go back, gas, get some water, 1 lap, 2 lap sprints, go back for lunch, come back 2 motors, done for the day, wash your bike up, gym at 4.
Pull up to the gate, I'm just totally relaxed, my goggles on, my handlebars.
When I pull up to the gate, I try to focus on myself and talk to myself, try to give myself confidence.
The first thing I do when I pull up to the gate,
I pray, I meditate, I just try to stay calm, not overthink it.
I would definitely always have my earphones or something, walking up like in staging and stuff. Like I don't really talk to nobody. I just be in my own little bubble.
I just sort of like amp myself up. Most times I get there early, just try to calm myself down and get in the right mindset.
sometimes I'll do jumping jacks to warm myself up.
I look for the Bassett line.
If it's a deep rut, I'm gonna knock down the sides of the rut.
If it's a little bit curved, I try to set up my gait to maneuver the curve.
And then fill in to make the rut a little wider. We'll shut the base down and just chill, I guess.
Pull up, put my goggles on, don't speak, I just try to visualize the race.
Try and visualize yourself getting in front, hitting all the jumps.
I'm not really talkative or like, I don't really get like hyped up and just really just sit there and just
Look at all the competition real quick.
I just say to myself, I want to get the whole shot.
Like the minute you lose focus, everything could go left. So
Just relax, don't worry about anything else but myself.
I pray.
I make sure my feet are tucked between my peg and my shifter and my brake.
I just focus and just try to think about getting a good start.
I would go through the whole race in my head how I want it to go.
But I'm cracking jokes on the line too, so you know what I mean? It's all fun to me.
I try to just get myself in a little mood, focus, like you could do this. Basically like tell myself I'm the fastest on the line.
Focus on the start, focus on the bike, and then it's whatever after that.
I'm just relaxing and just cracking. Pull shot. Let me get that.
When you tell people you race motocross, what's the first thing they say?
What's motocross?
Like a lot of people, I wouldn't say I don't look like I ride bikes, but a lot of people like got a little confused. So.
When I tell them I race motocross, they're always like, does my stomach hurt when I jump? Or what does it feel like to be in the sky?
They can't believe it. They're like, no way, you're serious? You ride? Because I'm like a calm type of guy. But they're like, yo, rider, whoa, you're crazy.
What's the first thing they say?
I don't tell nobody.
You're too ill. They ask me, what is it? So when I tell people in America I race motocross, they ask me what is, I say dirt bike riding, and they understand. But Bermudians call it scrambling, which nobody else understands in the whole world. So.
Oh, that's a crazy sport. Oh, how you do that sport? No.
They're blown away, like they don't believe me. Like,
That's a pretty dangerous sport. Are you sure you can handle it? And I tell them, yes, I can handle it.
Hey, I love it. I'm took plenty licks and I still get up and keep going. It's all about what you love.
Oh, you do backflips and stuff? It's like, what?
Dirt bikes, like down south side, and just like, yeah, gotta come down and watch.
All right, when you tell people you race motocross, what's the first thing they say?
Can you do a backflip?
Freestyle. And it makes you want to kick sand in the face.
oh, you got big kahunas. It's like an extreme sport, so they just don't expect that from me because I'm so calm, cool. I'm gonna show them footage of some.
They say, like, they ask me what's my motocross number.
Like, how you get backflips out of dirt bike racing. Like, I don't do tricks. They always ask me if I could do tricks and do this and that.
They always tell me it's easy. But it's really not.
Like, how could you think about different stuff when you're moving that speed? Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this?
It's like somebody asks you, when you live in Bermuda, somebody asking, oh, the Bermuda Triangle? Same thing. People that do have some sort of idea of the sport, it's like, oh, you're like Eli Tomac and those guys, where it's like, you know, I like them answers better than like, oh, you do flips.
Look forward. So why they call you Big Gap? All day and night too. I'm Big Gap. First off, I love everybody. I love everybody in the whole world. You hear me? Yeah. I'm Big Gap because I'm a top rider. I've been walking guys, like putting a gap on them for so many years. I turned from Gap to Big Gap, remember? Yeah. That's how I got the name. My first experience with this sport, I'll take you way back with that one. Training school up in Ward. There used to be popos. There was this nice track out there. Bro. That was the first time I saw guys ride.
My first experience with the sport, I was...
Probably when I was about 4-ish, when for Christmas my dad got me a electric bike and I rode that around a lot.
My daddy actually put me on a bike at, say, 5 years old, put boots on me and put me on somebody's bike and I rode at Coney Island.
Next thing you know, I went Coney, so guys ride at Coney. I had to get down the track. All that riding, I had to get down there.
I did about a lap, and then the next year I got a PW80. I've been riding ever since, 36 years old.
Way back in the day, we were on a campsite back in England, and I could hear some dirt bikes riding. And me and my brother took a little adventure through some trees and stuff like that. Probably went through a fence we shouldn't have went through, and came out right in the middle of a track looking at it, and I was like, this is something I gotta do. Wicked.
Okay, my first experience with the sport, actually, when I was like second year Litany, I started off with 80 cc's. And once you go 16, you have to go to 1 to 5s. So I 1 to 5 for a season. 16 came, got a street bike, and that was it for my motocross career.
First experience was Coney Island. I went down there to watch with my parents and just liked it, I guess.
It's pretty rough off the start. When I first got on the PV, I was just wide open, hitting stuff, but started getting it down, hitting my lines, got used to it, started picking up stuff from pros, professionals, and I got there.
I grew up watching my uncle ride a lot. He kind of like got me into it a bit more. And then when I was like 10 or 11, he had this 085 and like I asked him to teach me how to ride it. And then my mama, she showed me this like little like camp thing was going on. And she asked me, do I want to do it? And then that's when I really started.
My first experience was just around the neighborhood and then came down the track, met Aiden Speedy, and then he let me use his bike, and since Christmas I got an 85.
Aiden is my stepbrother. I met him when he was riding 50 class, and I used to ride around on the small track.
You guys used to ride dirt bikes down the tracks, but not on a race condition. But my first ride down Coney Island on a dirt bike, that first lap, I wanted to give it up.
The sport in Bermuda is big, but I think it could be bigger.
I feel like it's underrated, kind of.
Bermuda Motocross probably doesn't have the best name.
A lot of people give it a bad name.
It gets a bad rap because, you know, guys can't resist the urge of riding in places they shouldn't be riding. That's what gives us a bad rap. But when people come down there and see what we're really doing, how many kids is actually racing, they get excited.
Because it brings a lot of the youth out from all parts of the island.
I feel like it's a little weak. Like, we guys, You guys don't promote it right, you know what I mean? Ain't got the Bass Challenge and track, like, I feel like we could amplify that deal, you know what I mean? But from the outside looking in, you don't really get the fullness of it, like.
I feel like it just ain't as big as all the other sports. On some occasions it is, but just not as big as it should be, I think.
It ain't the best reputation. It ain't like football or cricket or something like that.
I think it could be better.
Our name's basically like got bad vibes wrapped around it for some reason. I don't know what it is, but it's always had that bad vibe from
issues, politics, some stuff's happened in between the committee.
6, 7 committees ago, like it's always just had that negative stigma around it. I don't know why, but I know why, if you get what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's still growing somewhat. It's still different people, different riders coming in.
Growing pretty fast, actually. I see a lot of new riders coming around.
We just got to keep it up and hopefully the good turns out.
Well, I actually had somebody that's won at the highest level, which is Jair Mitchell.
I'm raced pretty much in most states in America. Done the Redlands, biggest amateur race. As far as pro-wise, in America, I done the Arena Cross Series. I done that in a couple of states on the East Coast. Raced up in Canada, the Pro Series. Raced in France for the World Minis. Raced in Belgium. I feel like we're kind of been pushed away from everything. We're so far away from pretty much everything. We're just done small little lot of land, but I ain't been down here in years, and the last couple of years I have came down, it's progressed a lot, so it's getting better. Track's better, the riders are getting better. We're progressing.
Yeah, who was your biggest rival?
My biggest competition, like this year racing consistently, like obviously I'm always gonna say Jair because we grew up racing together, but he's not racing here, so. And then I hope he sees this, but I'll probably beat him in Bermuda. I ain't getting lie. You give me a couple of weeks of training. Like right now, his on his game right now of everything he's doing, so his still in the match. So obviously, if he used to race tomorrow, he'll beat me.
So I was in Bermuda for most of this year, and then I went away, Canada. I done an Arena Cross race, dacked out. I got first, second, and third for third overall. Then I went and raced the Pro Nationals outdoors. First run, I got third, and I dacked out the other race. Probably got like 18th on. And then I broke my ribs the third run and just pretty much called it quits on that. My biggest thing is just working on my technique. If I get better at my technique, then I'll be a better rider. So I want to do some supercrosses maybe this year, make the main events. That'd be my goals.
A lot of people never rode Coney Island.
Yeah, I got about two and a half years at Coney Island before we came Southside.
Coney Island wasn't the best track. Location, it was the best location. We used to bury trucks. We had a brick in like the middle of the track, and we had to avoid it to race the track. Like it was hard packed and it didn't get groomed as much. Our grooming was a bucket and a wheelbarrow, and that's how we did Sandy Hill and majority of the track.
I could barely remember Kenny. I just remember like I was probably there like a season, maybe 2 seasons.
Like I said, my first season I got rookie of the season, and I came out the next season and won. So that was my 50 experience.
And what I remember is just the incline of everything. Like it was hills and like natural terrain.
I think I maybe had got 1 season in on 65, and then that's the year we had to take a break when we transitioned from Coney Island to Southside. So I believe we took a year off for riding.
But I just remember the little 50 cut that we used to hit because we couldn't go up Sandy Hill.
I had this finish line jump, you jumped on, and it says triple uphill. And I wanted to double the triple. I was down there with Aaron, white boy. I wanted to do it so bad, and he just hit it wide open and ended up casing the triple, dactyl low, cram.
Coney was the best because we had Devil's Drop.
I remember Devil's Drop, obviously.
I used to love jumping and landing down that long hill on Devil's Drop, round the corner and then hitting Sandy Hill, bro.
Devil's Drop, yeah. No matter which direction we went, it was exciting. One direction we went through, and my bike actually got tagged with somebody. I fell off, and when I got up, the bike apparently went off the hill, over the berm, and in the water. but I got it built back for the next race.
Sandy Hill's wide open, like, top, they are.
That was a very nice part of the track. You could go up there wide open, get traction all the time. It was always nice. And Sandy Hill.
I love Sandy Hill and Devil's Drop. That was the best parts of that track.
If they gave us Coney Island just for a couple races, it would be very big. Like say Christmas time, New Year's, just our main races, and we could still come down here and race.
And then the environment, the whole environment, I love that.
Track location is actually good. Like for Bermuda, it's like almost the only spot we could have without like people complaining about the noise. So
track-wise, I think this is the best track. If we had this at Coney Island, it would be amazing.
Oh, well, since I live in Somerset, I think it should be more central.
I think we need 2 tracks. This is way too far. Like I think it needs to be more central. More people will come out, more action.
Locations is not all there, but the actual track is better.
there's nothing wrong with the facility, per se. I'll say it's more so the track.
Yeah, this is just, I feel like it's just pushed. It's a nice view, like people see it on YouTube, they're like, oh, you got to race next to the water. That's so nice, but look how skinny it is.
But it's better than Coney Island. No, I stand on that too. Way better. I think it's alright. I don't think it's bad. I don't think we could go anywhere else, to be honest.
Most of the people down this track live down this area, like St. David, St. George's, so they're pretty close, get here on time. But most people who live up in those far areas, it's hard to get transportation, like make it on time to the races, practice, but they get it done, so it's good.
Like Coney Island's got a couple hills and stuff, but Coney Island's not big. Like we can't even like put our containers down there. Like if you could make the whole island a track, then cool, but you can't, so it's like, don't even make sense even talking about that.
I only stay 15 minutes away from here, so it's cool.
Yeah, I think we need a better location. At least 2 locations, you know what I mean? Just keep switching.
Coney Island was better because I was like 5 minutes away from there.
I've seen a little better layout down here, and then I'm seeing worse. But I'll ride whatever. As long as the track, I'm riding my bike, I don't really mind. But
since I've rode away a lot, you know, obstacles in Bermuda here, they're not that difficult. It's a cool track, decent track. It's just been better, but it's decent.
As far as the materials and stuff, it's slowly but surely coming together, and everything's getting better.
Our location's probably the best location we could possibly have.
But I try not to pick all the bad things out of it.
First time riding.
I did bad, good, not fast.
Can't even remember, tell you the truth. I'm sure I docked out.
Didn't fall down, didn't crash, nothing like that?
Yes.
It wasn't too bad.
Dacked out, got a concussion, stopped riding for a little bit, got a bigger bike, and then started riding from there. That was pretty easy, straightforward. Came to me pretty good. Been riding since she was 4 years old on a twist.
First time riding, I did pretty good, and then I started to jump more jumps.
I felt nervous. Then after, I just got used to it, and then, yeah.
First time getting on your bike, I was wide open, but I weren't hitting the jumps.
I didn't know if I wanted to do it or I didn't want to do it. Like it was kind of like pressure. But I ended up loving it and still do it to today.
My first bike was Cobra 50.
I had a Yamaha 85 YZ.
PV80.
A 93 KX.
A Honda 80.
I got that bike through a trade from a V50. I traded my mate.
My first bike was a KTM 50.
I think it was a Kawasaki. It was an old Kawasaki.
Kawasaki 85.
Stock bike. My dad got it for me, surprised me.
KTM Mini Adventure 50.
KTM, small little 50, Junior.
They're cool. Didn't even have radiators.
It was a 1989 CR 125s.
Honda CRF 50. It only had like 3 gears.
It's basically like a PW50, but a KTM and faster.
My first bike was an 85cc Husqvarna.
I didn't have nothing like these guys have now, Cobras and stuff like that.
I just saw it, liked it. Fast, long, jumps.
Actually, with my work schedule, was the only time I had to ride. So the race, I had to race to ride.
I've always been to bikes and mountain bikes and stuff like that, all that sort of thing. Anything with an engine, anything with wheels, cars, boats, anything like that.
I wanted to play football, and then my brother
was doing dirt bikes, and then my dad told me, maybe you should do dirt bikes. So then he got me a dirt bike for my birthday, and then I started just riding on fields, and then I thought I was ready to race.
But yeah, I really, like when I seen that was it. Really wanted to do it.
My first race was nice because I got like a good start and all that. By the time I got to the first jump, I rode it. The ice just jumped right across me. So I ended up getting lapped. Like the first race I raced, I got overlapped, bro.
Butterflies, I was crying. My daddy carried me to the starting line, sat me on the bike.
They actually put me in the 80 class and I got landed on.
Most people start like 50s and 60s. I came out 80s and got right in.
The first race I went, it was pretty ironic. So I was the slowest one there. And I potted all the way around the track, and she was muddy, standing hill. Every rider ducked out, and I went round and led the first lap for my first race.
So that was my first experience racing at racing level.
I don't remember my first race. I think it's on camera, Jake. I don't know, it's ill.
I was doing all right. I was running about 7, but I think I had about 17 crashes in the first race. I was just more concentrating on blowing the berms out and making dust. I was just enjoying myself.
Feeling emotions, just kind of going through all that.
I crashed a lot, I'm pretty sure.
My bike broke the first race.
But besides that, it was decent.
At least I got the whole shot and all that. I was wide open. Just had to get the jumping done.
I did ride for like 3-4 months before I did my first race.
Well, I done one motor, the second motor it broke. I think the piston let go.
That was it. After that, no more butterflies, no more crane. Start again, yeah.
Yeah, but that made me hungry.
When I'm at the gate, I've got butterflies, but as like my dad always told me, when the gate drops, the bullshit stops.
What goes through your mind when you're racing?
Blank. Nothing. It's just blank.
Myself and not backing out.
I want to win. But if someone's in front, I'm learning from them. And then I'm trying to take that it.
Just looking for lines, looking ahead.
Just hitting my same mark, trying to hit the same point every time.
Just riding.
Try to focus on my breathing a bit more.
It's the only thing I think that can make me block out everything that you think of. All your life problems, job, everything that doesn't matter. Just focus on what you're doing is riding. That's the addictive part about it.
I know who's coming second place.
Pretty much everybody in the over 30s class is my biggest competition.
In the over 30s class, myself.
Aaron Kennedy right now.
Right now, it's Ben. Ben's drilling it, yeah, 199.
My biggest competition is Nyla. I learned.
But that's not really a drop because I'm the points leader right now. Trying to win my first championship. I think I can do it.
Compo right now, probably like Zeno or Montana, them two.
My biggest competition is Jalen.
Probably myself. Yeah, probably myself, I would say.
Probably me, myself, but in the 60s, probably Jalen, but this is probably my last race on the 65, so.
Life. Johnny Fogo and Mazai Tucker.
And on the 80, it's Dej and Zanaz, I think? Yeah.
Messiah and Maddox.
And Yari Fasad.
Joanna's there too, you know what I mean? Joanna's hard.
I look at it as a bonus for all of us. We're all pushing each other and everybody's making everybody put more in and take the sport to the next level down here in Bermuda.
Yeah. After this race, you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay. My first bike was a Yamaha PV50. PV50 Yamaha.
PW50.
PV50.
A PV50.
My first bike was a PW50. A Yamaha PV. PV.
Next up on the gate, the hill, the PV50 class.
I think this is probably the most PV riders I'm seeing in my life in Bermuda.
Tighten the turns, yo. Don't go out of the rock, bro.
It's stacked up nice, like the future's looking bright for like the sport, like, you know what I mean?
For the PV class, it's like the best class, because that's the future of the sport.
Let's go, Mike.
The last 2 seasons were good. Like, we had more kids than we had gates, so it's like we had to start some kids in the back.
I think the PV class is one of the biggest classes on the damn circuit.
You can actually learn from these guys too, believe it or not, even though they're beginners, but you can actually learn from them.
Good help, Mike, good help, Mike. Let's go, Mike, yeah! Throttle, let's go, throttle, Mike, throttle! That ain't happening today, but I'm gonna tell you.
I mean, I'm hoping that it really gets bigger. I have a son that's getting ready to race it.
On it right now. Hungry for that, let's go, boy.
Little parents are the best, that's all I can say about them.
I think it's funny. It's nothing like a 50 parent, like they're just built different.
They know how they act.
The motor parents are, I mean, they're different.
I love it, man, because they're just as invested as the rider, like, you know what I mean? I love it, like, they're out there screaming, carrying on. Like.
From first to the last gate, everybody wants their son to beat the next kid. It's never changed. There was always some animosity with the top riders.
Every single parent is like that in the first early stages. Like, I don't know what it is about it.
Tension.
But it's like screaming at your kid and like getting all crazy is not gonna make them go fast. Like 9 times out of 10, you acting crazy on the side of the track is gonna like make them look.
It's always been very serious with the moto parents in Bermuda.
The moto parents in the States are definitely more hardcore than her. Guys are taking it there. You block past a kid, they're coming to your trailer and they're taking it there if they're really serious, like, because they don't know you.
Biggest competition by far is definitely Jazori Thompson. We have battles back to back, first, second, through the whole race. Some good competition, but it's fun, enjoyable.
I wanted to be originally number 2. It's my birthday. I'm born November 5th. My name's Jazori Easton Thompson. I ride 125cc in novice class. I'm 15 years old.
Yo, I just wanna rap. This other beat me up to the mothership. I ain't from it anyway. Practice freestyle over the game. Life game elevate. Music came but luckily I can penetrate. All I know is aim, target, lock, shoot, disintegrate. Once I get this beat in this mass and they hope to ventilate. Yeah, I understand it's your wife, but I call it dinner plate. Super straight and super back.
My first experience with the sport, I was introduced to it at 4 years old. My dad took me down to a field on a Pee-wee, and then we just started from there, and then we started coming down the track. My daddy was on the back, turned me around, but then he just let me go. I did pretty good.
How nice is that? Yo, black if you don't write your rap. Y'all all coming anyway, no wonder Tyson back. This music shit legit is all I know. So my grind all the time, my vibe long as I grow. In my prime, in my mind, it's on, that's how I know. Get the money, the fame maintained, that's how it goes.
I used to see gap in those guys. Yeah, I just picked it up. First race, I know I came second. I didn't come first. I came second, but it was me and Lano. We was battling, then it was Mikey out front.
Picture the fans who quote them, clean the knives before I load them. Something close to the scroll in case you want to be it. That's a quick click, then I fold them.
I would describe myself more of a smooth rider. Not really heavy on the clutch, and like to stay in like high gears, like third, fourth, fifth. I practice a lot of corner. Try to look forward, get my eyes up, perfect my technique every time I ride. I think I'm pretty good at jumping. When I was young, going 50, they used to call me Superman, because I always like to jump.
I flip that 10, that 6 again, and give me more. That's real estate talk. It's up in the cakewalk. Sound force my Fruity Loops with Pro Tools and safe balls. This music shit legit is all I know. So my grind all the time, my grind long as I grow. In my prime, in my mind, it's on, that's how I know. Get the money, the fame maintained, that's how it goes.
I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Florida, Alabama. Currently, I'm training at SOB MX in South Carolina. Tracks away are more difficult, bigger, rougher, and the competition is obviously way harder. In Bermuda, there's only like 10, 15 guys on the gate, max, but other way, it's like 40 guys on the gate, all racing for the #1 position. I haven't gone away for a long time, like a year, see how it goes. I want to make it far in motocross, but that's a goal. Make it far, work hard.
Yeah, I basically want to be a pro. I want to be a pro.
My favorite part of the track is probably the step up out the back.
Probably the step up.
My favorite part about this track is all the jumps.
The big track's very fun, has a lot of jumps.
It has a lot of jumps.
This track, yeah, I like the jumps. It wasn't very supercrossy back home. You never really got too much of that.
I like the chicane and the triple out of the corner. I like technical stuff.
Probably 100-footer.
The 100-footer.
I like that big 100-footer jump.
I mean, once you get the rhythm down with the track and jumps and otherwise, it starts to pick up, your pace starts to pick up.
You had this little chicane sand section. That was a good set. I like that one.
Probably the finish line. I like it.
The tabletop in the back.
I actually don't like this track layout.
There's not a lot to really favor about this track.
The corners needs a little bit of working on. We're getting there.
Just like how sandy and like rocky it is, like you kind of just start to get used to that. And when you go away to other tracks, it's like you really see what a difference it makes.
I like the water in the background, so the water stretch.
I like the water side stretch, because you can really get on the gas, and it's like a rhythm.
The seaside. 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 The seaside.
I would say the 100 seaside straight away, like.
Yeah, you're getting pretty fast. Have a peep over, it's just.
Is there any part of the track where it's like I could actually show? You see how most people like jump over the jumps? I go through them, like I go through the jumps. Like it's a different technique. That's any technique that I could kind of do that on. So it's like that. I would say that would be my favorite section.
1 gate drop, 5 laps. You could go after everybody. All right.
Did you just say 5 laps?
5 laps.
Wow.
Practice is normally go on, take your side laps, then just warm up, and then do a couple drills and hot laps, and then do some starts, and then yeah.
First warm up, then start doing some hot laps, hit the jumps, and just have fun.
I just psych the track out first, do a couple of fast laps. I warm up, take a 10 minutes, 15 minutes warm up, then I just start hitting motos.
Probably like 2 20-minute motos, 3 20-minute motos, depending how good the track is.
I can't tell you all my secrets.
I just work on my technique.
My daddy makes me stand up for a couple laps, feet on the pegs for a couple laps, and sometimes free ride.
Try to push as I'm doing a race condition, so I do 3 hard motos.
I'm putting in laps, 10, 12 minutes, consistent laps, come off 5 minutes, 10 minutes, back on the track.
As I cool down, I just slow down and just wind down and come off. I try to shoot for 3 hard motos every time I go practice.
I don't even practice, my boy, to tell you the truth. I'll practice every once in a while if I have a chance, but I don't really ride when I practice. I just do my cardio and stuff in the gym, and that pretty much keeps me ready to ride at any time.
This is not a game. This is real. It's not a game.
Vegan power, you know what I mean? Yeah.
My training never stop. Yeah, I go cycling, bodybuilding, and running.
I do football and running.
I do push-ups, sit-ups.
I do more running than I ride.
I do track and field.
I go to the gym.
I stay fit for life, so I'm swimming.
At least 4 or 5 times a week.
I'm walking.
So I work out in the gym, I run.
And I'm running, you know what I mean? So I'm doing a bit of everything.
I train with Saki, Bass trainer out.
Love that! Love that!
He keeps me fit.
Sometimes I try and go to the gym.
Swimming. On Thursday nights, I was doing mini triathlons right here.
I love running a lot right now, dude. I'm hot in the running.
Oh yeah, I do some running.
I've even been pumping some weights lately. Swelling up for me.
In my head, if I can breathe and I can ride, I know how to ride. So that's just my goal, is to just be able to be comfortable on the bike, and then I just believe in my abilities.
Oh, I'm looking.
When I was away, it used to be waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter how cold it was. It could be 35 degrees. You're going cycling 15 to 20 miles.
I do cycling, running time to time, lift some weights.
I have a stationary bike called Zwift in my house that you can ride anywhere around the world on, and that's what I'm doing right now, trying to get back in shape.
And then we have a nutrition meeting too on Wednesday. So nutrition,
A lot of cardio. I believe in cardio.
yoga, and then a mental skills meeting. And that would basically be the off the bike training.
It's a lifestyle, don't stop.
The definition of top rider. When you ride or scrambling? Scrambling.
I have a bad habit of not eating.
Race days, to tell you the truth, I barely eat. Most times I just have a little smoothie in the morning.
I don't really eat on race days. I drink a lot of Gatorade and water.
I just eat a good breakfast.
I try to eat a good breakfast, and then I have light snacks throughout the day.
I have a good breakfast, but once I get here, I still get just about nervous enough not to eat too much.
I'm a pretty fucked up eater. I eat everything.
Nothing really too specific. Whatever's in the fridge, that's what I usually eat.
Turkey sandwich, tuna fish sandwich.
Pasta.
A lot of water.
Just have those little energy berries and stuff like that, that's about it.
And watermelon.
I'm actually pretty hungry right now.
If I do eat, it'll probably be like a salad or something light. I don't like to get heavy on the gate.
I think it's the nerves that, like, I can't eat.
I eat fish and fries.
The same lunch routine that I would do at training, I would do at a race. But it's like now it's kind of like just free fall. I might eat some cookies right before a race. I don't know.
My name is Messiah Baker, 8 years old, and I ride in the 50 class.
How did you feel your first time ride?
I was really nervous. I couldn't get over a jump, and I felt like giving up, but my brother came to me and said, never give up, and then I just did it.
That's the boys. All be
My first race, I came second last, and I did my hardest.
This past season, how did it go for you?
It went good. I got a lot of crashes, but yeah, it went good.
Which class was, let's say, more successful, the 50 or the PB class?
I would say the PB class. hard because they would normally put 50s right after Pee-wees, and then I can't even get a sip of water.
Who would you say is your biggest competition?
Everybody in the 50 class.
How about the Pee-wee?
Cassidy.
What's your future with the sport? What are your goals in the coming years?
Win a race, jump the 100-footer, and go to Supercross.
How can I do this? Hey, you guys, you four are together. Everybody, this from you, this way, is together. All right, go, 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 go.
As a trainer, like I'm not the trainer that's gonna be on the side of the track, like flag you, like waving you on and stuff. Like
You see on your bike, you gotta like have the gas on a little bit. Because you don't have the gas on and you try to hit it, it's getting bored. Gas and push. You gotta run over the gate, all right?
Like unfortunately, like I'm not racing, making a living doing it, but like I feel like with Jumpstart at Max, it will help me basically stay in this lifestyle. So whereas I will be able to still race and ride and stuff.
Feet on the pegs. You don't want to ride today? I should have seen no gaps in between your legs and the bike. When we go play football, basically as soon as you landed off this single right there, you guys are sitting on. When we go play piano, I saw a lot of sitting on, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. We're gonna ride or I'm gonna tell your mama buy you a piano. What do you wanna do? All right, let's go.
What really made me want to start it is because growing up in Bermuda, like I never had nobody that was like in Bermuda that was training and stuff. You kind of had to just learn everything kind of on your own, like if you're just your daddy. So for the most part, all my training came from overseas, so I kind of wanted to bring that to Bermuda without anybody have to spend thousands of dollars just to get the same training that I could give them. So that's basically why I started it. Basically stepped away from racing so I had time to do it.
Hey, 2 more laps. Just got one more. Just got one more.
When we do a little 3 to 5 laps in a row?
5 laps, yeah. Maybe. You wanna put your wheels? You wanna put wheels up here? You're riding dirt bikes, boy. That's what happens. Remember these signs?
Yes.
All right, that's good.
He teaches me different techniques and I'm starting to get, more introduced with the sport.
He's a good rider, good trainer.
I basically want to take somebody else and get them to go past me, like double, triple of what I done.
Remember, drive forward, forward. There we go. That's good. If you do it these last 2 times right, you take a break.
What if I don't
Stay over there, stay over there. As long as I see you trying.
I like to tell people how it is. Like if your kid don't have potential, and obviously it's hard working for meetings and being honest.
Hey, I feel like we gotta work starts all day. That was terrible. Everybody starts with terrible.
If you're not willing for me to be brutally honest with you, I can't, Like I'm had trainers that tell me like I'm trash, like pack it the fuck up. Tell your parents, sell your bikes, and this is not the sport for you because you're riding like a pussy. I'm had that. So it's like, I don't like sugarcoating stuff. It is what it is.
All right, so that was a good session today, boys.
So who's a rider you've worked with that's made the most progress?
I would say Cody. From my training and my advice, it's probably Cody.
How was that race, Chip Bag? What happened in that middle, Chip Bag? What happened? Can we get a word with you? Can we get a word with you, Chip Bag? We can't talk to you? You don't want to thank your sponsors? Who you like to thank? Oh, yeah? Your sponsor said they're going to sell your bike.
My name's Cody. I'm 8 years old and I ride 50.
feel your first time riding?
Nervous, scared.
What's the reason behind your bike number?
My dad's mom's grave number because she passed away.
This past season, how did it go for you?
Pretty good. I came second, got a trophy during out the season, and I felt pretty good, pretty fast.
You scrub?
Kind of, yeah.
And you whip?
Yeah.
All right, who would you say is your biggest competition?
Senior.
What's something you think you need to improve on?
My corners, my jumping, my technique, my footwork, my elbows, keeping my head up straight,
What's something you think you're good at?
ground speed.
Yeah.
I'm already good.
Come on, we got 10 more minutes, then we'll take
I
a break.
haven't drank all day.
We just started.
I haven't drank water all day for 5 hours.
Whose fault is that? That's your fault.
No, it's not. It's my
Not
teacher's
my fault.
fault.
Try it one more time for me.
How come you double them?
I don't double them. I skim them.
Xano double them.
No, you don't. Then they triples.
And double.
Have you raced or done any training overseas?
Florida, many years, Club of Max.
All right, what's your future with the sport?
To go pro, hopefully be better than my trainer, and improve on all my things that I'm not improving on.
Raced all over the world when it comes to the States and Canada.
Lake Elsinore, Fox Raceway,
I've raced Canada Series as an amateur,
Glen Helen,
Many years.
Paula,
Lake Whitney and Oak Hill.
Daytona, and I've been to SOB.
I actually won there.
It was pretty good. Met new trainers and stuff.
And the people that have trained me was Ike the Jagger. One of Gary Samix's proteges was a guy named Chad Johnson. I went to Canada and got trained by Ryan Gould. Done a little bit of training. I'm never raced, but I'm ready for like 3 weeks out there. Junior Jackson. I'm a natural Burmy top rider, man.
All right, how'd you do your most recent race?
5th or 6th. I didn't do too good. I was at Daytona. I threw up a couple times racing. I'm just in bad shape.
I want to say my favorite layout was that big jump on the seaside, and it had those long rollers. You do a lap 180 and the finish line jump 180 again. That was probably my favorite layout, I'll say.
I think 09 was a wicked layout.
I'll say 2008, 2009 season.
Actually, I missed 09, but that was a wicked layout.
09 was my favorite track layout. We had a camelback. It was more technical. We utilized the hill track and it was very long, but we had a lot of obstacles also. I don't remember the year. I remember the track, like we had a nice long stretch.
Has to be maybe 2006 or 7. We had a step down in the middle there,
chicane back, little chicane.
And a couple of jumps where you can actually scrub it.
Used to be a road jump across the road.
Jump across the street.
Go around the tank.
The Hill Seaside was jumps where there's different rhythms, like big jumps, small jumps.
Jumped over a section, hit the finish line, step up. Yeah, that was the best track I remember.
Probably like,
I would say 2019.
2019. I think that was fun because we had a lot more obstacles.
It was a nice step up.
Jumps and whoops and stuff.
Double section, yeah, it was a nice track.
The best track, 2019.
There was another one I liked too. It was
I would say 2012.
It had the whoops. You come down, and then it was like a double.
We had an actual sand section.
Double wall jump right here.
When Career Construction did it, that was the best layout we had.
The first layout when we came from Coney Island to her, it's 06, 05 maybe. They had the trees still in the middle of the place, so it was pretty cool. Had big step ups. I was on a 65. They had a little rhythm section, step on, step off, and all that. That was a wicked layout.
But we had a lot of them throughout the years. Like every year we got a different track throwing at us.
Season's going pretty good. This is the first race on the 85. And I'm 5th in points right now in the 60.
My season's going pretty good.
My season is going good so far. I just raced and I got 2nd place.
My season's going great. Yeah, I had a couple weeks off in the middle of the season, you know, life, and then things happen. Still fun, though. Still winning.
I'm cheating.
I think the biggest thing I have to improve on is my technique with my legs. I think I ride a little too far over the front of the bike.
I need to improve on like squeezing the bike more.
I'd say flat corners, since there's a lot of flat corners down here. Definitely body positioning, like what I said, my legs, my shifting. Yeah, it's mostly squeezing the bike, staying low.
I need to improve on standing up and keeping my elbows up.
My cornering, my technique.
My technique for sure.
I definitely need to improve in my aggression. As I got older, I started breaking burns, and I lost a lot of aggression.
My whole body positioning, like I'm trying to rock my balls on my feet now instead of on my arches. Trying to do cornering with my feet up, just trying different techniques that I see that's new.
I think that's due to me breaking burns and me being not in the best shape all the time.
How was the transition to the bigger bike from the 85?
It was much better. I felt more comfortable. Since I was like so big, I used to just like hang right over the bike. And now like my head isn't like so far over the front. It's where it's supposed to be. Like, it was a slow start because I still had to get used to how big the bike was and adjust to it. And like mostly it was good after that.
Who would you say is your biggest competition in your class?
A Johnny Fogo.
I like a Johnny. I like how he rides. That's like I like his style.
My name is Johnny Fogo, and I race 85s and 65s.
LJ DeGraff for sure. He's a hard boy, that guy.
All right, I'm Alan LJ DeGraff, race expert.
That guy does not give up. I love that.
I am 10 years old and I go 11 July Zero.
One day, my daddy took me over to his friend's house and his son had a bike and I got a ride and I fell in love ever since.
So I first got my bike at FedEx. I rode it around and it did not go well. I crashed on my uncle's ankle and he got a rash.
First time, I think I done okay. I had a Polini, everybody else had KTM, so I was a little bit behind the 8-ball, but I ended up getting a KTM and getting Rookie of the Year. Yeah, the season's actually going quite well. I started off winning the first 4 motos out of the 6, and I'm just been maintaining ever since I came out strong in the beginning of the season.
My number's number 24 because when my daddy was younger, he bought a bike and it had 24 on it, so we stick to that number.
I'm more a laid-back type of rider. I just let the 450 power work for me. I'm not really an aggressive rider. I just try to hit my marks and be smooth.
I focus on riding smart.
I don't really try to override too much.
Good at scrubbing, whipping?
I'm trying to work on it a little bit, but I'm getting there. I feel it's all right. Hey, I've been racing, so it's got to be working.
Kinda.
What's something you think you need to improve on?
Leaning back.
My corners are my weakness, but I'm trying to work on it. Hey, it's working out for me. Oh boy, Hill expert class is stacked, man. You got Kaijan, Jonas, Zano, the old competition. I don't look at nobody as a weak link. Man, probably when I was about 14, I used to go away for the summer to motor park. As I got older, I haven't done no overseas training. I only took a little ride at Orlando MX in 2021 when I had took Johnny away, but that was just a little ride somebody gave me.
I came third in one race. One race I came sixth. I did good. Yes, I'm going this year.
Well, we are going to do mini years this year, 2023. But I would like to take them to do the rattles in 2024. But just got to see how the funding goes and things like that. So yeah, we'll be looking for sponsors and stuff to help us to do that next year.
I have better start technique than him.
He always goes on the outside gate for starts for no reason, and I always get the hill shot and he doesn't.
On your period, bro.
Sometimes on my 50,
No,
sometimes. Sometimes.
No, you don't.
Something I'm good at is jumping and holding bikes wide open.
I'm good at berms, bro. I love a berm. I hit a berm hard. So yeah, I'm naturally good at corners.
I'm naturally good at everything on the bike.
I think I'm good at turning, cornering.
Corner speed, I have really good corner speed and my form is really good.
I think I'm good at having a competition and giving myself confidence.
Probably getting out of situations where mistakes happen or are bound to happen. I get back in the race quick.
I think I'm good at
Falling down.
corners.
I don't think it's natural, but it's something that I just like doing.
Takes me a lap to remember the track, so I can jump everything pretty much on the second lap.
I could basically ride the hill track without even touching the handlebars. I would like to say I'm smooth. I have a lot of technique. I wouldn't say I'm the fastest. I've never really been the fastest. I could do the fastest guy's speed, but I like to be in full control.
Try to get to spots fast.
I would say before it was erratic. Trying to change it now to ride more with my legs.
Try to shift early, sit down kind of early.
I don't know how I would describe it. More European, stand up, feet on the pegs.
People say ride a bit lazy.
Hang off the back, off the whatever, like scrubbing.
It's not too smooth, but it's more throttle than most.
I'm just like hitting things hard.
Pretty stylish.
It's good. I have good form.
Relax and fast.
Unorthodox.
My technique's on point.
Every time I get on the bike, I try to practice the right techniques. I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials on riding and the right position and cornering and everything. So I'm always a student of the sport, so I'm just constantly increasing my skills.
My riding style? I picture myself to be like James Stewart, Chase Saxton, and Jack Lawrence, but I'm on the short side, so I'm thinking I look like them, and watching the video, I look like Ricky Carmichael with my little legs.
Hard on the clutch. Not really too much of a smooth rider. I'm more on the gas, just wide open.
More aggressive, don't really care.
Terrible. Terrible. If I'd have been taught how to do it properly back in the day, I think I'd be a lot quicker now. I kind of make it work for myself, but yeah, it's definitely not the style you should teach anybody.
My friends say I'm reckless, but I don't think I'm reckless. I just ride.
You got that stay wide or don't ride type of style, like just letting us go. I'm like a bulldog. I'm just going right through, hitting things on the curve where I am, how I'm doing it.
Scrub?
I can scrub.
Top. Come on, man. Guys ain't scrubbing harder than Big Gap, you know? I'm scrubbing hard. Scrub.
Oh, you see me out there acting the field? Yeah. I'm a visual learner, so, you know, self-taught.
I can scrub pretty good for my age.
I'm getting there, man. I'm practicing it time to time. It's not fully there yet, but it's getting close, so just keep working on it.
Come on. I'm nice with it.
How about whipping?
I'm not too nice with it.
I go whip. I could definitely whip the bike out. When I was younger, I used to really be able to whip it out.
More like a butt whip.
Whipping? I ain't the master whipper. Like, I want to stay low. Like, whipping, you know, and whipping's pretty, it looks hot. You know, don't get me wrong, but I like to scrub.
Who's number one?
So I kind of got on big bikes early. I was on a big bike at like 12 years old. So I was doing hill clickers on my 80. I was doing no-footed can-cans before I was doing hill clickers. And seat grabs. I was able to, how I did it was I used to put my bike on the stand and basically take my body, stand up and jump up in the air and grip the bike or jump in the air, throw a no-footed can and do hill. I was able to do it on the stand before I was able to do it on actually ride.
I think there's a lot of potential. A lot of kids know how to ride down there. Azai Burt, he made it to Loretta's on a PV a couple of years back.
Went to Loretta Lands in Tennessee and placed 6th overall.
Who would you say is your biggest competition down there?
Azai Burt. Azai Burt, and I ride 65cc and 85cc.
How old were you when you first started riding?
2.
What made you want to start racing?
My daddy. My first race, I came 2nd. Number 3.
And what's the reason behind that?
Eli Tomac.
What's something you focus on when you're racing?
Corner speed, ground speed, and getting my leg higher on the 85.
How would you describe your riding style?
Fast, good technique. Yeah.
Good stuff. You know what happened, right? Gave up the inside with the bar. It's good. It's real good. I think it's just got to be more consistent. Like, at the end of the day, everybody's got the life. Like, motocross is not, I feel like for the most part, motocross isn't anybody's life in Bermuda.
Okay, only 100 footer, you know the last one? You know the last time pop 100 footer? Crop that for me on the last time.
I came down there after school one day, And I told my daddy I want to jump it. And he said, you wouldn't do it. And I think I worked on that jump all day after school. And I finally jumped it.
How long was that at that time? 100 something?
I think it was 115, something like that.
I need to improve on my jumps.
My jumping. Probably jumping, but I feel like I'm getting there. Like I'm starting to jump a lot more now.
I think jumping comes when you're ready to jump. I ain't gonna lie, I've never been anywhere out where they teach you how to jump.
I think technique first. You build a hosted foundation. That's probably what it really is. So if you get technique, jumping comes easy.
It took me like 6 months really to start jumping, because I'm never jumped.
But I've never had a jumping class. Like, I've been to a lot of trainers that would never had a jumping class. It's always like, remember, it's like ground speed. Like, the jumping is gonna come once you get your bike skilled on.
You know, it looks so easy, but when you go out there, it's something different. So.
That's why I never really teach jumping. I ain't gonna lie. That's where the injuries happen too, because it's like, it's only so much I could tell you. Once you jump, you're basically like I would say just a passenger if you don't know what you're doing.
My bro was my trainer. I used to come to the jump, slide over. Next thing you know, he's like, look, jump a little further. So I started jumping further and further. And he was like, look, go right over it. So that's all, that's all that happened. I ended up getting right over it.
A lot of it's to do with your legs, where your legs are positioned on your bike, and then not being stiff in here. I'll say learn about tabletop, learn how to break tap, one-handers, no footers, and then just get bigger and bigger.
I can't explain how to jump. It just feels like, a jump feels like a straightaway to me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it just all feels the same to me. So it's hard to teach somebody something that you gotta feel.
How old or what bike were you on when you first started jumping consistently?
Probably a 50, maybe, I don't know, 6 years old, something like that.
3 to 6 months. It was a tabletop, and I wasn't scared, but I was scared. When I came up to it, I was a bit shaky, but I got over it.
Right before I hit a 250, last year at 85s, into my first year at 250, that's when I first started to like actually jump to where it's like, you didn't have to say like, oh yeah, we're gonna work on this jump so you get over it. So it's like, I would say around like 13, 14, that's when the switch flipped for me.
No, guys are scrubbing, dude. You hear me?
My name's King, and I ride in the 50 class. 7 years old.
Now, wishing can get you half of that. They must believe when they see how we bring the smart attack. Ticking boxes looking like we really got that darker craft. Distant watching, they must have pre that I'm bringing sharpness back. Don't be daft, thinking of ghosts in the axe. To think I got time on my hands to pick up the phone just to chat. This is my time to get locked into it. I've signed up, I must pursue it. Assignments are stacking up, but my side is accustomed to it. I got people knocking, never stop to bother, cause my people popping. This is not religious, when I pray I feel the repercussions. Desperation separates my name from those we see too often. Left the lane they dealt me from the start, the street was not my option. Nah. But I've been rolling with it. They see that I'm on my grind, so they leave me to grow the vision. The team that we got is tired to believe that we only winning. The reason I jump on mic is cause Pete's never won his rhythm.
And how long you been riding?
For 2 years. My mama's name is Tenze, so we put 10.
He's growing, but in his time of growth, his actually grew very, very fast in what he's doing and how he's riding and everything.
Who's your biggest competition in your 50 class?
Tina.
What's it going to take to beat him?
I need to hit some more jumps and go faster on straightaways.
Listen, hell, I call that freedom and hell. I promote reading as well. Sometimes I'm eager and shell. Come from the region of melting cold into steel, I rebel. This is my field, I excel. Give me a breather, recharge that energy, needed that well. Rested focus, money's not the only motive. Just found out my sister's pregnant, must make sure the family's cold. So we aim up, never set those limits. Come again, bruv, did I mention gimmicks? Come to pretend you're the one that's winning. Come for a set, never jumped on with him. Jump on a set, get shut down. Looking like a semi respect for your club that's rhythm. Looking like a threat when I dub that, listen. This is my place, get the vibe straight. Been a minute with a right fade. They get my shade. Couple brothers never like me. They keep quiet ways. Spent a minute on the side, getting mad at us. Wishing they could grab it. This is
I came third in in my first one, and then I came second in my second one. Then the last one I came fourth.
And what race was that, Daytona?
Yes, it was a big track and it was so smooth. Had a lot of braking bumps. Mini-O's was very cool. Had a lot of jumps. Had a lot of step-ups too. Step-ups were my favorite.
Heaven sent, but heaven isn't blessed unless they mention him. Energies be centering my serotonin. This is just a test of strength I'm ever growing. Reaper calls, I keep it going. Wishing they could answer that. Monetary artifacts. Save your soul, the easy road is faster with a darker path. Distance if you charter that. I remain the smarter man, so if I lay my hands upon the lamp, I'll get the answers back.
When we was younger, our growth wasn't that fast. I think it's due to the equipment that they're on now compared to when we was younger. So I admire a lot of these guys being able to do the type of stuff that they do.
It all depends. Which line is faster? If the inside is faster to go inside, it's better to do the inside.
It just depends the type of track it is. Like if I could rail just wide open on the outside, it's like, yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go to the outside and hit it wide open.
On a race condition, you're always gonna get the advantage by increasing your lap times.
But for someone that's not like into going fast in turns, like inside's always gonna be the best option because it's like, it's the shortest distance.
So whichever cornering is faster, you take.
But if you're willing to hit that throttle, outside all day.
Crash, all right.
My biggest crash, damn.
You could be here overnight with your hard crashes, Sheikums.
I'm glad I don't remember the hard crashes, let's just say that.
Had about at least 5, 6 concussions.
I got a concussion.
Broken wrists, broken fingers, broken elbows, broken foot, broken back, cracked ribs, contused your lungs.
I was practicing, hit this triple, and I hit it a few times, and then I came out short, bottomed out. I messed up my hip. I just knew I couldn't walk, and I had to go to the hospital.
Just something stupid on a practice day. I went over the handlebars, and I ruptured a kidney, and I was peeing blood and stuff like that, and then I did that on the Thursday, and I raced on the Sunday because I was trying to win the championship.
And another one was when I went down and I bent the whole front fork of the PB. So, yeah, hell, PB was done.
I went round, I was racing that day, and I was screaming, everyone could hear me.
All these crashes where I broke something, broke a bone, it was a slight crash. But it just hurt a lot more. Like all the big crashes, 9 times out of 10, you get knocked out. So you don't really remember nothing.
To be honest, it wasn't even a crash. Like it was, my technique and different stuff was a little off, and I used to ride with my feet pointing out.
When I came off the 100-footer,
I went to the inside, the toe of my boot right there just caught the hump, and my foot turned a bit, and I actually heard the bone snap.
my bike cut out, and then somebody came straight up behind me and they rode into me.
Like, see, that one hurt, I ain't gonna lie, but it's crazy, that one didn't really hurt as much as I thought it was going to, but I feel like it didn't hurt that much because I already had like lingering injuries, so I just like re-aggravated them, so it was basically like me just bumping it.
I just had one earlier today. I came off the jump and I got a little squirrely, and then I was on the ground and someone hit me in my back.
My uncle, Zico Majors, he ended up flipping right in front of me. I was in the air on his triple jump. I tried to avoid him, which I did. I ended up crashing and ended up cracking my L2 vertebrae in my back.
I got a bad jump, so I was way back. And by the time we got around to the finish line jump, going over for the first time, a few guys went to my left on the outside, and I went straight to the inside, and I seat bumped the finish line jump. But as I got in the air, I realized somebody was down already in front of me. And I landed on his bike and went over the bars, and that was it. My season done.
Usually, like, riders don't think about crashing. You know, if it happens, it happens. Get up. If you break something, heal up, get back on the bike. But yeah, I don't think about crashing. I just ride.
That's not even my biggest crash. That's what's crazy. Like, that was just a quick, you know, you just got donkey kicked in my butt real quick. You just had to jump through the handlebars. Like, that happens on a normal training day when I was in the States. Like, it's just, you know, stuff happens.
Bud's Creek, I got a 450 on a Wednesday and I went race it on the Friday, so I rode it probably one time.
I had a decently good crash on the first seaside jump.
It's this big triple, but they knocked it down to a double single.
I was going up it, and then
First race I tried triplet, over jumped it, and
I think my back wheel kicked out.
I fell off the back of the bike, holding it wide open, and launched a single over the fence.
By the time I was like off the lip, it was just out of control, so I had to jump off the bike.
And when I woke up, broke my hand, but that's scary. I was high.
I've had a lot of big crashes. I remember I was on 50cc. I almost broke my butt.
I was coming out the back right here when the track was, when it used to go around.
I actually broke my arm. It wasn't even a hard crash. I just coming off it right corner. I just fell and I hit a rock on my arm.
I hit a rock and I went over the handlebars.
At the Mini Olympics.
Probably like 2012.
I went down in the gator pit of gator back. There was a turn right before the finish line and I was following somebody.
When I was doing this wall jump, it wasn't supposed to be a double, and I remember getting an inspiration from Blake Baggett at Freestone.
And he came out of the rock by mistake.
And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit the wall jump. Well, LJ had did it already, and I already said that I'm not doing that jump.
And I tried to maneuver him.
Then I was doing it in the race and got a little bit too comfortable.
Coming out, and I was full throttle, and my leg caught his bike.
Eventually I came up short.
So it flipped me all in the air, I crashed.
All I remember is waking up in the ambulance. I don't really remember anything else. I saw videos and pictures. I didn't walk away from it because I had to get carried away. I would say my biggest injury is probably ACL. And it's crazy because I didn't even crash. Like, I just put my leg out the wrong way, it popped.
I had shattered my tibia.
Didn't even pull off.
Dislocated my knee.
I can't even explain it, but it's like I didn't want to believe it, so I just kept riding.
And cracked my femur.
And then when I hit a jump, it actually popped out of place.
I tore all the ligaments in my knee.
So when I landed, I had to land sitting down because I couldn't stand up. That's when I knew like something was out of place.
As soon as they constructed my knee, I didn't have no ligaments. So I had to wear a brace, and I was already trying to ride a bike with her.
And once I got surgery, that's when it really hit me. Cause I was stuck on my friend's couch in a camper.
Left a brace on my knee. So probably a couple months before I was actually able to ride, not by the doctor's orders.
Like I was having to like crawl on my back, like slide on my butt, like on my back to the toilet, lift myself up, keep my legs straight, and use the bathroom. Like almost laying across the toilet.
But altogether, it took me more than a year to actually race and be competitive.
It was a lot, but it wasn't too bad.
Had a concussion when I believe I was 7, 8.
Broke my leg, so I was out for like 2019, 2020.
And then after that, got back on my bike, 65, broke my arm. And then after that, got on 85 and broke my arm again on the same spot.
But one thing about hard hits and hard crashes, your body forgets pain. So, yeah, ready for more.
Hardest crash probably have to be my broken femur in 2017.
I got a concussion. My broken leg.
Really just broke my hand, knocked myself out.
What was your recovery time when you broke it on?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
About 4 days. Like about 5 months.
Then I had to put it in a sling or whatever, and that took like another 2 weeks or 8 weeks.
Me and my trainer were getting into it because he's asking me like why I'm riding like a sissy.
I fractured a bone, so I had to get a plate and a couple of screws.
And I'm telling him like, yo, my knee keeps popping out of place, like right at the base of jumps. Like
that's actually the longest recovery. I sprained my ankle practicing, and that took like
4 weeks.
At least 3 months to heal.
Probably 3. Took the cast off early.
And then as soon as I straightened it back out, it rolled back in place. And it wasn't like too painful or anything to where it's like it was making me want to stop, but it was just weak.
The concussion was the longest one. That was about, I believe, a year and a half, 2 years of recovering.
So now I got no heart work. Feels a lot better.
Mashed me up pretty bad, so yeah, I'm getting back though, so that's all that matters.
Two-stroke or four-stroke, which one?
I ain't gonna have one.
I only have one.
I like two strokes. I always like the nice sound of a two stroke. I don't mind four strokes, but yeah, I prefer to listen to a two stroke. Especially a 250 two stroke.
Four stroke. I'm not that sharp with a two stroke.
Two-stroke or four-stroke? By the way motocross is going, it's probably gonna have to be a four-stroke. Two-strokes, that was a while back, so I want it to come back, but it's probably not gonna happen, so I'd probably have to say the four-stroke out of the two.
Two-stroke. It's cheaper.
I'm gonna go for two-stroke. I got a KX500 two-stroke, and because I got the four-stroke and I got the two-stroke. If I had to sell one, I would keep the two-stroke.
I want a two-stroke. Hey, I got both right now.
I had to go with the four-stroke.
Four strokes is the lazy man bike.
Definitely four-stroke. I like four-stroke. I like 450s. I like a 450 because like as soon as you hit that twist, like the power's there. But as far as like longevity and like, you know, a bike that's gonna outlast you, definitely a two-stroke.
Four-stroke. I like the engine braking. I love the sound all that in it. Damn thing is kicking.
And then the sound of it, like I'd never get over the sound and the smell of a two-stroke. I grew up on two-strokes, so. But as far as like going to a big race and it's like I'm gonna compete, there's no way I'm taking a two-stroke. There's no way.
Two strokes is over.
I'm gonna lose, but I'm like dagging, boy. No, you're not gonna do this fucking well. I'm gonna stay in the front. Yeah, boy, it's 190.
This past season was rough for me. I mean, the over 30s, I never lost a race.
I think on like the third race or like the fourth race, I got my first win.
Last season, man, pretty great.
I came in excited, ready to go. I felt like it was my year. I was the fittest. I think I was more focused this year.
Me, LJ, Montana, we guys are battling tight. Even Xander, we was battling tight with points.
I managed to come back for the last 3 races, which I enjoyed that.
Then I missed the race. So from my missed the race, it all went downhill, like in the points wise. Still riding top there.
I'm not for canceling races. Not in this sport. I'm still open to racing without no ambulance because at the end of the day, I'm seeing the worst and the worst is going to happen. But it's like if the worst does happen, there's nothing you can do anyway. There's nothing the ambulance can do, nothing nobody could do. But they could obviously give you better chances of surviving if something bad happens. Somebody's got to designate the vehicle to take somebody to the hospital, and let's just pray that it's nothing life-threatening. Because at the end of the day, I'm broke a lot of bones in my body, and for the most part, I could get up and get in the van. I don't know. Ambulance, I'll say cancel the race because like something could happen. But it's like you're down there practice days and like some people ride by themselves. Imagine if you're out the back and you flip over your handlebars and nobody can hear you screaming. The sport's dangerous. It's gonna happen to you whether you like it or not. The ambulance could be there, you're still getting dacked. So I don't care how much rain's happening, don't cancel it. I would say about 25 to 30 mile an hour winds where we are, you should probably cancel it because I've been on the line where it's like, in the States you can't take off on the gate with all your goggles on. But as soon as I took off the gate, the goggles came off. Like everybody's wear, because it was raining that hard to where it's like you couldn't see shit. Like, you know, I'm racing in snow before, where it's snowing on the gate. They only stop racing for lightning. That's the only time I would say you go cancel it, is like when people can't make it around the track.
Oh, Charles, got the hardest number, number 6.
Reason behind that is my birthday, 2007. Always had 07, so keep it up.
Yo, my nephew used to ride. Rest in peace, Ezra.
It was the day I was born, January 28th. My birthday is September 27th.
He is number 6. So from he passed, you know, we was tight. The time he passed, I said, I'm gonna be number 6 for life.
I loved Jeremy McGrath, so. My number was always 1 or 2.
I'm grateful 7 days a week, and Bubba Stewart was one of my idols. But 7 days a week, I'm grateful.
My third bike was a Honda, and at that time, I had the graphics and everything done up as a replica to Kevin Minim's number 14.
Travis Pastrana is definitely a hero of mine. Seems like a cool guy, you know?
I grew up watching Cars, Lightning McQueen, and I just wanted my number to be 95.
My first son was born August 14th, and after that, that sealed it. Like, can't change it.
Danger Boy Diggin was my favorite YouTuber, and I thought I'd just go 39.
I could be number 1, but I'm still number 6. Feel me? As the old day.
Okay, so what's the reason behind 96?
I have no idea. Just been 96 from when I remember.
The reason behind my bike number is because I was born on the 31st.
The reason behind number 92, because my dad was number 91.
Because of Austin Faulkner. I used to watch him a lot, so I just picked the number.
When I went away to Minneo's the first time I went, someone had already had the number 15. So my dad was like, okay, we'll just change it to 215. And when we brought the bike back home, we just kept 215.
Who do you guys think had the better season?
Me.
I did.
I did.
I did.
Oh, I had a way better season than you.
No, you didn't.
I don't want to say that you shouldn't race the PB class or this and that.
Most of your fundamentals come from before you even touch the bike. Like how you maneuver on the bike, how you sit on the bike. Everything you do is just from the bike being on the stand, so it really doesn't matter what bike it is when you start.
You're better off getting an electric bike and starting up and going off of that. I mean, it's a good start-up bike when you're like 2 going 3, and you can put restrictors on it, but as far as like...
Getting the most feel into the bike as early as possible, I think that's the best thing. Like,
I look at it as the beginner class, like, you know, learn the fundamentals, teach the simple stuff, and then move on to like more power and more of a bike, the Cobra 50 and different stuff.
But if you win the Cobra class first year in the 4 to 6, then it's like, you know, we could give this kid another Cobra and maybe give him a senior and then you got help. But like, if you're about to go 7, get your kid off the PV. It's over. Like, so I would say 5. I ain't gonna lie. I would say 5. It's over. It's just a fake make-believe class. Like, you don't, you know, it's just a money maker for the industry. That's it. And they don't even race outdoors at many years. So it's like, that should let you know that those bikes are a joke. Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, I never rode the PV class. Like, everybody that does good in the PV class is basically a 50 Cobra rider just going to the PV class and just going in. Those bikes don't teach you the torque of a real 50. They don't teach you how to jump. They don't have suspension. Like, at the end of the day, they're just not real bikes. Like, actually taking that class serious, I think it's a waste of time. I don't know. I've always thought it was a waste of time.
No, I think they should go on the Pee Wee class. Because you could get on the PV one time and it's not so saucy. It's like more forgiving, it's more easier to ride.
I don't say skip it, but I don't say stay on it too long because that's just like the introduction to it.
The curbers and KTMs, they do help you advance faster.
Even if you win at Loretta's, you're not going to get no curb deal. You're not going to get no factory ride off of no PV.
It's so much money and it kind of discourages you. And once you get past that, you're doing clutches and gears anyways.
The PV is safer, so you can learn the fundamentals on the PV. It's different because you got both brakes on the handlebar, but it's safer.
The PV50 is not a real bike. That's just my opinion.
Nowadays, kids are getting more riding experiences earlier, riding like electric bikes like Stasics.
I think if the kid is small, he might not be ready for the 50 yet.
Depends on how big the kid is, they can go straight to a bigger bike.
It's correct when it comes to skipping the class, money-wise, and actually learning, because you learn more on a 65 than you do on any other bike.
I'm gonna stand on what I said. I think the PV class is a waste of time.
I admire my father, which is Otis Ingham. Robbie Smith was our first pro guy. He raced in Atlanta when they didn't have camps and stuff like this here. So I admire Robbie a lot.
I mean, Fitness, Cody, Cassidy, Tino. I like Micah's technique. I like Micah's technique, his feet, his tight with the bike. He's gonna be nice when he gets to it if he keeps up with it. Speed is nice. Superman. Mikey. Everybody in Express nice.
I just admire people like that, people that die hard of the sport.
The kids here need a lot of work, and I don't want to sound like brutal and like I'm bashing anybody, but like they need a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody in Bermuda needs a lot of work when it comes to motocross, even me.
I come down here, and then I go away for 6 months, and I come back, and the improvement level is crazy.
Admire the most, probably riders with the better body positionings like Aaron,
Jonah, Kaijan. I would say like Jonah, Aaron, and Kaijan.
I mean, some of the younger kids, like let's say a Johnny, small bikes, they're getting there, getting faster, the body positioning's on point, it's smooth.
Me? Yeah.
Kai, I like his corner speed, and
LJ.
Jair, I like his corner speed too.
Aaron Canner.
A lot of them. I mean, AC's been doing it just as long as I'm been doing it. Aaron Canner.
Definitely Jair Mitchell.
I got my mate Twitch as the new champion. Like, he's come a long way and he's looking good out there right now.
Jonah Smith for sure.
Dan. We got all sorts of guys down here.
The best kid in each class is like that, where it's like the good, but the good compared to the competition.
He's still, well, he races anything. He'll race fucking ants if they had to.
Like, we used to take these same kids that are winning the classes in Bermuda and take them to the States. Like, they don't even blend in, they get lost.
Zende, I like his aggression sometimes when he rides.
Like, I'm sure that I'll go out there right now in pro class and probably would get like 15th, not even making me in right now.
Especially last race day in that mud race, he was riding with a lot of aggression. I like that.
But it's like, I know what I need to do because I was at that point where it's like I was going into many years expecting to win. So it's like I'm been on both sides. And I'm seeing like the kids in Bermuda, like they're good, but they're not great. They don't catch my eye like a kid in the States, I ain't gonna lie. Like certain kids that in Bermuda, they catch my eye for Bermudian talent. But then if you go away, it's like, what? Like, you was doing this good in Bermuda, like why you can't do that out here? Like, it's, I know what it is. I know how it is. I was that kid.
I got closer to winning a race than him.
But I actually won a race. So.
I did too.
When?
I've been riding since I was, like I said, 5 years old. Started racing when I was 6, and I've seen lots of riders come and go.
I can't even count. There's been so much. Like, it's been so many
Everyone thinks it's easy and they're fast, so I'm seeing loads of riders come and leave.
Yeah, plenty of riders come and go. I must give it up to Aaron and Gap. The young guys have been doing this for 20+ years.
Dale, sheesh, Dale, it was tragic what happened to him. He's a really good guy. His family is great people.
I'm seeing a lot of good riders pass away.
It's just sad. It's a great person that got taken from us.
Pace? Oh, Pace was my boy, man. Man, I miss Pace. Rest in peace.
Fingers came out with me. That was like one of my biggest competitions. Pace was, he was one of my idols.
I remember Fingers too. Yeah, Fingers was nice.
There's kids that you see kids that had the talent, they had it.
Started racing when I was 6, and that class don't exist no more.
I would say racing like Ezzy and Dale. I raced them guys. Those guys were always older than me, so they're always like a little better than me, a little faster.
The only person that came from my generation that still rides is Lorenzo Birch.
Borman, Fingers. I've seen a lot of guys. Azra.
Come on, Ezra, number 6, Barnyard Racing. Can't forget that. He was wide open. Ahead of us, which was Buddy. I raced Pace a couple times. I beat Pace a couple times. I was a little younger than him. So when I was coming up, I'm just stepping up to his level. He is definitely hot. We miss him. I would have been still beating up on him.
I feel like everybody has like one season and then they're done. And then they'll come out in like another 6, 7 seasons and then they're done again.
They still like the sport. They're just not like really into it anymore. You know, when they come down here, they obviously want to hop on a bike and ride, but other than that, yeah.
Not even 40, I'll say 30 people that's consistently there every year since Kearney Autumn days. Probably not even that much.
It's been a lot of guys. A lot of people come race, stop riding, start back riding. It's an expensive sport.
Yes, the sport is very expensive. Well, it's expensive starting buying a bike, but maintaining isn't really too bad.
It's crazy. That's why I only ride on race days, because it's like my bike's got to last 17 times.
Suspension-wise, couple thousand, bike 6,000. So
here it's actually quite cheap to do a lot of riding in it. You know, you can do it in a week straight after work.
The sport's very expensive.
Oh, it's really expensive. Could be overwhelming.
Just to have a bike in my class is $10,000 easy.
That's why a lot of kids, like, they go to a certain class, then they stop because you get a new bike pretty much every class. So
you need rebuilds, you need this, you need tires, you need grips, you need
gas.
To do a season in Bermuda like comfortably and like do it at your full capability, you need at least 10. I'll say at least 10 for a season here.
These boots are $600-700. Your gear's about another $250. Helmet $600. Goggles another 100.
That's bare minimum, like.
Because we got to ship you in all the parts. You just can't go up the road and get parts.
It's what you love. So everything comes with a price.
It is pricey because these things, they don't run for free and they got to be maintained. So that means oil, fuel.
A lot of people sort of only look at the race thing and don't look at what goes on behind it. Like,
this is some of the cheapest motocross I've ever done in my life. I've lived in England. Back home, I'll go 2 hours cross country. You need a van, you need the insurance, you need the gas money and stuff. So
big gap. I'm a money magnet, but I don't even feel like it's expensive. Like
if you want to win, you got to make sure you're training, make sure your eating's right.
And I just rebuilt the forks on this one and the headstock and most of the bearings. So yeah, it gets pretty pricey.
You're paying like gym memberships. Then on top of your gym membership, you're going to get a trainer to make sure you're training, doing the right stuff. If you have a bike trainer and a gym trainer, that's a bonus. And then you got the knee braces, that's like another $400.
Once you start getting faster, it gets more expensive. And as the speed I'm getting right now, I can't run really stock because I'll probably mess up the bike. So we pay a lot for our parts.
Because the track's hard on there, so you tip over, you might bend your levers, bend your bars. It's very costly. Like
everything's got to be imported, so that's where it becomes expensive.
Well, you know, I'm grateful that I can have some sponsors, you know, to help me out.
I mean, you pay for what you love, right?
This is why I love. Put the money right to that. Like, I don't feel no way about it. Just love.
I've been doing it my whole life, so hey, here's what it is.
In the States, we were spending like 50 to 60 for just mini years, area qualifiers, and Loretta's. And we were spending close to like $60,000 with training and all this and that. Now that I'm an adult, Coney Island's very small. Like, it's not big at all. Like, I don't even know how we was having races.
But Coney Island had elevation, like up hills, down hills, you know what I mean? Then we had the water section.
It's more space, natural terrain.
On our best day down Southside would swallow our best day at Coney Island, hands down. Cause I'm hearing stories of like Boxing Days down Coney Island making like 30 grand. Like, it's no way, it's no way. Boxing Day and New Year's, and then they did a race in between. So all three of those races, you're telling me you made $10,000 each race. It's no way. Even if it was at $10, like 1,000 people would have to come. 1,000 people's not coming. We don't even get 1,000 people now on a good day down there.
I love Coney, it was cool. People just wanted to change. They just want to change and elevate, I guess.
I'm not 100% sure. I was around at that time.
I don't know if it was a contract that Bermuda government had with Bermuda Motocross Association. I think it was up.
I think they just came up with the idea to have the whole motorsports in one location.
Telling us that we'll have open land down here where we can ride 24/7. Whereas back at Coney Island, we could only ride on the weekends.
And maybe the noise complaints from down Coney Island was getting too great. So there was a lot of pressure for them to shut down at Coney Island due to noise complaint, because that's a heavy residential area.
We wasn't able to do a lot at Coney Island. Here we can do anything you want, really. It's on us.
My name is Aiden Simmons and I ride a 85cc. 14 years old.
Aiden, I'm worked with him for a long time, but like he rides a lot, so it's like for the most part, his road, he rides almost every day when he can.
Okay, who's your biggest competition down there? Aiden.
I would say nobody. Yeah, myself.
Your bike number?
Cause I just thought the number looked cool.
Yeah. How you doing your first race?
Bad.
Describe your riding style.
Aggressive and smart.
Then what's something you think you need to improve on?
My cornering.
And what's something you think you're good at?
My starts and my technique. raced at Walter Stern, Backcats, Ponchrillas, and I've been training at Doncaster Motor Park.
That's a hard question. That's my definition.
Xander is a top rider. Ben Tat and everyone is a top rider. Comes from the neighborhoods and stuff. They're natural riders, I think.
Right now, I would say Xander is my biggest competition. And once I get in shape, it's over for him too.
It's good. Like I give credit where it's due.
Most of my wins, I'm past people on like the last lap or the second last lap, so that's something I think I'm good at.
Yeah, definitely future.
Xander Tucker, expert class.
Ball in my court, high step is a layup. I like my keep moving, it's a trailer. Kitchen got me trying to get my cake up. All this coming to me, not straight up. Ball in my court, high step is a layup. My life like a movie, just keep moving, it's a trailer. Shopping in my kitchen got me trying to get my cake up. They got all this cheese.
My first experience, I think I was like 3 or 4 maybe. Got a bike, well I saw it on TV first. Yeah, came on her. I didn't really have a PV. I ran right into the 50 class, and then yeah, I was just a threat from then on, see. I can't remember, but I actually think I came first. First or second for sure. I wanted to be number 7. Obviously I got it from James Stewart, but Jazar had number 7. So then I had to choose between 77 or 777. So then I just chose number 7, 2 sevens. My rookie season, I would say it's getting good. I should have won more races than I have. I'm the fastest person out there most of the time, but crashing and stuff really just pushed me behind. So, but other than that, I feel good. I feel like I'm the fastest person.
Cut that! Hear me? Cut that! Yo, 125 too.
Yeah, Xander has actually adapted quite well. I would encourage him to keep doing what he's doing because he's doing well.
I think he's a good rider. A little bit of learning to do, but overall he's a real good rider.
I would say it's pretty good. I made a lot of passes, scrubbies, and staying loose. That's pretty much how I make up my time. Biggest competition, yeah, Cajun, LJ DeGraff, them two. I'll definitely say I need to work on my sprint speed in the first half of the race because I just feel like they pull away from me, but then I have to catch up. So if I could just stay there the whole time, then I'll be good.
It's got time to like develop.
Right now, I just want to go to a big race and just be up the front.
He needs to get some overseas training because like Bermuda's not enough for people at that skill level. Somebody like Zeno, if you put him around fast people, he's going to get fast. Zeno's a good rider, like, and his young. I didn't even realize he was so young, but he's young, so.
Just came through his rookie season. He sort of reminds me of me a bit, like.
He'll get up to like my speed, like my raw speed, like my lap for lap speed. He'll get up to that and then that's it.
You know, everybody wants to beat the up and coming, and then especially when like you're coming into a new class, carrying a lot of speed and different stuff, everybody wants to sort of, not boast you around, but like try to show you like, oh, you're the new kid on the block, I'm gonna show you how it's done around here. And
he wouldn't have got that good how he is now because he hasn't had no overseas training, and right now he could run with me, and you know, last race day I was impressed.
Me coming into the class when I first done it, I handled it good, and I'll say his doing the same.
You ain't had no training and you could still like run with me is you know, I ain't been on the bike in like 4 years, but it's still, you know, it's good, real good.
Tell us what happened after the last interview.
So I fractured my hip. Yeah, so I finished the interview, and then like it was like with like telephone poles, and it was like raining, and then I tried to like pop over it, like back wheel sit out, and I tried to put my foot out, and like it like extended too far, and like I landed on my hip, and then yeah, I fractured. But they say it was already weak, so they said it was a blessing in disguise. A month or two before I got back on a bike.
I just felt bad for him. I was just sad. How could he just mess himself up just on a telephone pole?
What's something you think Messiah needs to improve on?
Probably a bit more when it's jumping, because he don't like jumping.
I don't. I'll say his corners and his straightaways.
Is there anything that you learned from Quad A in the races?
My jumping, my techniques in the corners.
All right, if you both rode a Pee-wee on the mini track, who would win?
Me. Because I always win races on the Pee-wee track.
Even like if I was to go fast, it really wouldn't feel that fast. So I could just go wide open everywhere. He can't do that there.
Right now, every single kid that is riding right now has the potential to like be something. Yeah, a couple of those young boys are real quick.
I would say the kids that's got potential is all the kids that's been in the classes right now.
But they seem to go away and do a little training thing away and then come back, and then one of them's even faster than the other one, and those guys are just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. I couldn't tell you which one's going to be the best one.
At the end of the day, like, yes, Zeno is very good, but he's 17 years old. I was fresh out of middle school, been in the expert class. I won that championship right out of middle school. So it's like, this guy's just finished high school, 17, about to be 18. I was 13 going 14, and I was winning the expert class. So it's like, that's what I judge Bermudian talent. That was before all the overseas training, all that. But I'm just going off of statistics. Like, Jack Lawrence is not even, he just went 20. And he's at the pinnacle of his career. He can't go no further. He's done everything that you could possibly do at 20. So I just judge everything off of like the best. And the best in Bermuda is me. I ain't gonna lie. But until somebody that's 14 could beat me.
Got riders like Johnny, Aiden.
I see us going far, but they gotta leave now. Like, everybody's gotta leave now. Zeno's gotta go. Zeno's almost, I don't wanna say too late, but I don't wanna put no time period in anybody's like motocross career.
Cody on a 50cc, Gage just started.
And actually this year, many years, we got a bunch of Bermudians getting up there to compete.
I've got the best statistics. Like, nobody's ever won the championship at that young.
I want my brother to make it. I want him to be fast.
For somebody to do it at 14, nobody's done that. I think Zendy is probably the only other person to do it. Now, I don't want to discredit him, but everybody wasn't there.
Messiah, yeah, he's doing pretty good on the Pee-wee.
That's how I judge our talent off of Bermuda. I judge the talent off of me because it's hard to judge off anybody else. It's like, you should be winning expert class at 14. Anybody that's over 14, you're not winning expert class. I wouldn't want to say it trash, but it's like, you gotta pick it up. Gotta pick it up. Cause like, it's 14-year-olds out there right now that would lap me. If I go out there right now, there's a 14-year-old out there right now that would lap me and make me look like I can't ride.
Kaijan Simons, and I raced the expert class number 217.
I like the way Kai rides. Kai 217, I like the way he rides.
Born in 2002, I took the 2 from that. My birthday is the 17th. I was either going to be 121 or 217, so I chose the 217 a little better. Like, I'm always been a naturally fast rider. It's like my natural talent.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Double up the work, let's make it extra. Working so my mother get a rest, yeah. Working like I never knew I'm blessed, yeah. Every single day I feel the pressure. Diamonds in my eyes, I know I'm special. In the gym, I gotta get my reps up. In the gym, I gotta get my
I sort of was like brought up into the sport. My papa, my dad, stepdad, my uncle, everybody around me like rode bikes, and then my dad had an ATV when I was younger, so looked up to him riding that. And then when I was 3, I got my first bike, start riding, been on it ever since. It was funny. Well, to me it was funny, and my mom and everybody was scared, but I was in my yard riding, and I just, you know how most kids do, just got on the bike wide open, done that, and rode straight into a wall.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Diamonds in my eyes, I know I'm special. In the gym, I gotta get my reps up. In the gym, I gotta get my reps up.
A lot of people didn't know about New Year's Day. I was like riding sick, had just beat COVID, so I was pretty drained and stuff. And then the next race, I ended up crashing, cracking my wrist, and then came practice one day and like sort of jammed it a bit. So it went backwards. Like I said, it's been an up and down season, but it's my first season back since 2018.
Tevin has a lot of potential to be, he's basically one of Bermuda's best now, but he has a lot of potential to take the island as far as we have ever seen it.
Ain't nobody on me shooting in the gym. It's always been on me, I always gotta boom. Everybody eat before I get the food. Ooh, keep it real, ooh, yeah. I got my family on plan B. If I don't get it, we don't eat. I feel the pressure when I'm not weak. My demons coming like a stampede. But trust me, man, I've died it. I'm never out of pocket. We ain't never playing tag, you doubters. Only seeing green, no wonder why I'm not stopping. And while you turning up, I just go up, I'm like a rocket. Yeah.
It's not aggressive, but I just wanted to like go. I got on bigger bikes and got fast and different stuff. I realized you have to go slow to go fast. It's hard to explain, but it's like if you're just wide open and you're swapping and overriding, you will make more mistakes versus backing it off. So everything flows and comes together as one.
Diamonds in my eyes, I know I'm special. In the gym, I gotta get my reps up. In the gym, I gotta get my
March 2024, I have another race, Daytona. It's one of my favorite races, being I had won 2 championships there. I coming there with my chest out a bit. So maybe get out in Canada, hit some pro runs out there, or try get my pro points for next season, do some Supercross features, and then try line up on the line, probably 2024, 2025 for my pro debut, whether it's motocross or Supercross.
Well, my future is just to get my kid into which he is and just keep growing my legacy.
Oh, I'm in it to win it. I'm in for life. Like, I love scrambling. I love riding. I'm going to be in it for a long time.
My goal is just trying to ride on a professional team.
I want to be able to go pro. Well, if I can't, because I started a bit late.
I'm not really worried too much about going pro or professional. It's probably just making myself proud of the efforts I've put.
And ride all over the world. Like, I really want to go to Europe and ride.
And then I just say I'm having a son. I'm definitely in.
I'm going to ride till I'm dead, so I'm going to ride till I die.
What rider down there do you admire the most?
Journal.
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 I admire Journal. Journal.
Journal. All you guys gonna say journal?
Probably Journal.
A lot of kids look up to me, so it's like I kind of have to ride. Like I'm kind of got an obligation, especially if I'm gonna be training kids. Like you kind of gotta play, even though most times the coach don't play. This sport's kind of different. Jonah Smith. I raced the expert class in Bermuda.
I'm not picking sides. I got money, money, money on my mind. I'm not gonna sit here waste your time. No.
My earliest memory is probably riding with my brakes in when I was a kid. Like I used to ride with flat tires, I couldn't tell the difference. That's how slow I was. I feel like it wasn't chosen, it was just like put in my face, and that's basically where it started. Obviously I'm getting older, and also obviously I'm a little bit more, I wouldn't say fearful, I'm just a little bit more careful. Like once I got to Club Max, I used to push myself so hard to where it's like, if I crash and die, I'm good. Like I'll like die for a smile. But now it's like, I've got a little bit more, I wouldn't say I've got more to lose now because I had just as much to lose then, but it's like I just think a little bit different. Number 7 is just short for 17 because racing away, like every time I signed up, it was always somebody with number 17. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna run number 7. And then James Stewart's number 7, so it's like, why not? I wouldn't say I tiptoe around the track, but I'm kind of like light on my bike. Like I kind of like to flow around the track. I don't really attack nothing too hard. My ride style changes depending on the track. I kind of preach elbows up, but like I'm at the point now where it works for me, so.
Journal? I like how Journal's corner speed is. Like, it's fun to watch. That's something I work on.
I basically focus on every single turn. Like, every 100 feet in front of me, that's what I'm focusing on. Just focusing on getting in and out of stuff. Scrub game's tired right now. It was good at one point. I could do a fat whip. It depends the jump though. It just depends the jump. I feel like I ain't lost that. Like I was in the States full time, but I never really got no training. I was basically doing the same thing I was doing in Bermuda, just overseas. So it's like right now I ain't even really training. I don't run, I don't go to the gym. Right now it's just showing up on the weekends and just riding. After work, I ain't got nothing else to do besides change diapers. It is like, that's all I do. Maybe my cornering, I kind of lean under the bike too much. Probably could be on top of the bike more. I honestly think like people always say like I'm naturally gifted with riding, but I don't think I am. Like I think I actually had to put in work, like, cause I remember growing up, like I wasn't that good at it. That's why I never really wanted to ride. Like I used to like the idea of it, but I only started like enjoying riding when I actually started to get good at it. I would say 30+ races in the States since I was out there. I'm raced once in Canada. I'd rather not talk about how that went. I would say like the nerves from those races is like makes you sick, like you got the flu. If you get a whole shot or something, it's the best feeling in the world. It almost feels like you're on the track by yourself. The regional qualifiers to actually get to Loretta's is probably the most stressful race because it's like if you don't make it here, you're not going to the finals. hit a certain age, if you don't have the funding behind you, it's kind of hard to like make it. So if I was in the States, I could work and ride wherever I want, go to whatever race I want. I could take vacation and just drive to a race like Bermuda. I'm gotta get plane tickets, gotta get rentals, gotta find a bike, gotta carry all my gear. I was living in the States, it'll be a little bit more easy to live a normal lifestyle and also have a second life racing motocross. Like here is impossible. You can only have one life in Bermuda. I am going to do Loretta's again. Plus 25 and probably pro sport. I'm a weekend warrior now, so I would like to change that soon, but I'm just trying to get through this first couple stages of parenthood and then we start racing again for real.
So how'd you do your first race?
I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if my first race was in Bermuda or overseas, because if my memory is not lying to me, the only thing, my first bike that I remember getting was overseas, so I had to do my first race out there. And I don't remember it, but people used to always tell me that I raced my first race with 2 flat tires and didn't even notice nothing and still was riding with my brakes in and this and that.
That was in the 50 class, so I skipped the PV class, which I think everybody should do. But anyway, I skipped the PV class and went to the 50 class. That's why I used to ride my brakes in.
Are you afraid to crash? Just take me through it. Do you think about it when you ride? Like, does it go through your mind?
I wouldn't say I think about it when I ride, but before I ride, I definitely think about like, I don't want to hit the dirt today, or...
How's your season going so far?
The first race was a little shaky, I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't ridden since January this year. January 1st was the last race. Last time I even threw a leg over the bike. But it was just a race just to basically just ride again and just get through the day without crashing. That's all I wanted, because it's like, I already knew that I'm not in shape, this and that. So it was all right. I saw where I needed to improve on it. It's not like speed-wise, like first couple laps are still fast. It's just I can't ride more than like 3 or 4 laps without getting fatigued.
All right, how would you describe your riding style?
I don't even know. Like comparing it to somebody else, or like
aggressive, is it?
Nah, it's more like just chill and trying to use as least energy as possible. The feet on the pegs and all that stuff, I do that anyway because ever since I tore my ACL, when I was getting back into riding, I was forced to ride like that because I couldn't, like I came back after 6 weeks and that's a 6-month injury. And I came back after 6 weeks just to try to get ready for this race. And so I was riding with my feet on the pegs just to stay fit. So that kind of like stuck with me. So now it's almost like a habit, riding with my feet on the pegs. That's why I kind of teach the kids, like I want to teach you the fundamentals, but if you figure out a way where you're going faster to this turn and my way is not working, I feel like you should do that. 9 times out of 10, the person behind you is worrying about you. And if you're worrying about your line choices and this and that and knowing where they're going, like, cause you gotta almost have eyes in the back of your head and you gotta listen to where they are. Like you gotta be able to tell if they're getting close or if they're on the left or right of you. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes to your head, but for the most part, it's just line choice and keeping my feet on the pegs.
What's something you think you need to improve on?
I would say my fitness, and then I kind of want to learn this new school technique. I kind of like, it's kind of interesting how these kids are riding nowadays. Like, not so much the kids in Bermuda, but the kids that are in the States right now, like the top level they look like Jack Lawrence. Like a lot of them look like Jack Lawrence, and I kind of want to see how that's gonna work with my style. I don't know. For the most part, I find myself getting more tired when I'm at the front of the pack than making my way like working. I could start in last and charge 110% the whole race and not be that tired. Or I could be at the front of the pack and just working maybe 80% and be out of breath. I don't know what I think it's just a mental thing. Like being up front is like you're more tight. For me, some people are different. Some people like being up front, but I would rather be somebody that's like the same speed as me, or like, you know, like where I could pass them. I would rather be behind them until like the last like 3 laps.
Take me through how Club MX came about.
That came about from me just being on social media and just seeing, like, yo, I'm trying to train where these guys are training. Like, cause I'm watching stuff on Instagram, this and that. That's how it came about. It's just like, we just took a chance and my granny lives an hour from the place. So it's like, let's just try it and see what happens. And I end up staying there 3 years, 4 years. I'm still got my shop there with my name on top of it, still to this day. So it's like, that will always be home to me. Club is definitely my home.
I don't want to call it a rut, but basically I'm with society now. So I'm not a special motocross racer really no more, unless I was to get the funding.
Loretta's is kind of easy to commit to. All you gotta do is buy a ticket and have the money and then commit to it. But it's like, it's not always about money. Sometimes it's just like, you gotta almost talk to yourself into doing it, because I know if I go to Loretta's, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna drive 8 hours to the race, gotta drive 8 hours back to my house. Just do a lot of extra stuff that I'm not willing to do right now. But that's my goal, is to do this season and then go to Loretta's again at least once, one more in my life, at least once or twice. It's probably not gonna be an every year thing, because I can't see me spending $15,000 just to go do a race every year. It's crazy.
Because it could be anything. It could be, all right, I'll tell you what my definition is of a top rider.
A top rider?
Somebody that has all the fundamentals of racing, meaning starting, technical, also not technical.
More like guys that know how to ride, like
everything that has to do with this sport.
Top rider, anybody that's brave enough to put their legs on one of these and hit the track.
You're a dog. If you're a dog, you're a top rider to me. If you fight, you got that heart.
A top rider to me is wide open, is scrubbing everything, is efficient on the bike.
I don't know. Somebody like Tomac and Jack Lawrence, like damn, a top riders. Like,
you don't have to be the fastest person.
You ain't gotta be the best. But if you could ride and you got a little fight in you, you're a top rider to me.
I like guys getting fast. You know what I mean? That's a top rider to me.
They could be the best person that day. Somebody that's gonna be there every weekend. That's a top rider to me.
I don't care your skill level. As long as you got the balls to go out there and ride, you're a top rider.
I would say a top rider is somebody that could, like you see Chino and all those guys are top riders. Like, yes, they can race and do all that and like go fast on the track, but they know how to, like they could ride. Like they could do stuff on the bike that I can't do. Like I can't do all them pop wheels, stand on the seat and all that. That's a top rider right there. So I would say top rider is not motocross related. It's more like guys that know how to ride, like Chino and them guys. Like that's more of a top rider is more of like a hood slang. So I wouldn't use top riders for like Jack Lawrence and them guys, because if you try to make Jack Lawrence do what Chino does, it's gonna look like he can't ride the whole time. He's one of the best riders in the world. So
that'll be a funny video.
Yeah, Jack Lawrence can't do all that. There's no way. I'm sure he could pop a wheelie and do a stoppie, but as far as like going on the freeway one-handed, looking at the camera, splitting traffic, doing 70 miles an hour, like that's crazy.
So he got fired for doing that anyway.
Yeah, he got fired. So.
And that's just risky. So it's kind of impossible to say that.
Yeah. He would never do that, yeah.
Unless it's off something.
For real.
No, just stay wide and don't ride. I don't believe in that.
That's what I say. You got that dog in.
Yeah, that hard, that fight, yeah.
Because it's so hard. Because really, I think a top rider, when I think of a top rider, I don't even think of motocross. I think of only road. That's the first thing that pops in my head. Because so much people's like, I'm a top rider, I'm a top rider. Actually, I lie. Top rider is if you're confident. That's what it really is, if you're confident. If you're like, yo, I'm nice, I'm a top rider.
Definitely on the wrong side.
It's crazy how much of a crazy term that I don't want to say ignorant, but it's just like a stupid term. I can't like if people call me top rider, it's just like don't call me that.
Yo, you come right there, said, cause you're in it. Let's start that one over. Here, go ride this. I'm almost done. Go in the car and get candy. Go in the car and get candy. Car's right there. Go get candy.
I think my mom, my
my dad, my Uncle Aaron, and my papa.
To Sarah's gas station, my dad, my mom, obviously. ACS, my godpa's business.
Hey! All right!
Burma Stride. I like to thank Uncle Miguel too. I just started training with him.
It's been up and down, but I'll say. Hi. What's up? 1 second.
I want to thank my mechanics, my brother, my family, and my sponsors.
My mama, my daddy, my Uncle Melvin, Smucks, my mechanic Warren, and my whole family.
Sit down right here and watch.
Papa.
No pop. Sit down right here and watch. Oh man, pick up the pop. On my butt. That's got a little dirt on it.
Yeah.
He has to be quiet.
And then he talking because I'm talking.
I first started.
Okay, stop. Stop. Go over there. Go over there.
Thank my wife, man. My wife, the biggest supporter, huh? Big J, best wife, top supporter. Barnyard racing team, the whole team. My broad meals, my nephews, Junior, Dollars, the whole squad. Whole Barnyard racing team. King size, everybody.
John, so that dress.
Okay.
You can always do one.
I'm already got you.
Hey, yeah, I already got one, John.
Hey, yo, I gunshot. Anywhere me go, let me get all this. Yo.
Shot though, 103. Da-da-da.
Early, big dread, big toast, the whole hood, bro. Couldn't be me without them. That's it.
One of my favorite races after I won 2 championships there, so I sort of like going back there and.
Wait till he pulls off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just redo the whole thing.
All right.
That's my lollipop.
Oh, it is? What's... Yeah, go over there. Go. What's the...
First time. Oh no, I gotta go ride. Yeah, I'm in the 85 class. I'll do that to 85. Okay.
That's the name of the movie.
Top rider?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I make sure I leave that last.
Okay. Yeah, that's a clean name too. Top rider.
You need something to hold that door over there.
Hold the door? Yeah. Something heavy.
Yeah. I've got to get to the track, by the way.
I thank my mom, my dad, godpa, my auntie, my trainer, grandma, my sister.
I'll say Leveled Up Racing. That's probably my only like sponsor this year. I'd like to thank my baby and my girlfriend, man. That's, you know, they keep me level.
I might have to re-answer that question. Let me think about it. Not that I know that's the name.
And a little bit of videos. Okay, stop.
I'd like to thank my daddy for everything he's done for me in my motocross career. And like he jump started me, even though like I was already started, but like he jump started me. He pushed me forward, and like taught me how to not give up. And like he always kept me bike school and my new girl and everything.
I want to thank my daddy for hiring our sponsors to get us new things, like buying me gear, taking me all the way to train, letting me have fun on the bike, teaching me how to take corners and, you know, jumps. And I also want to thank my brother for encouraging me to never give up, teaching me how to ride better.
He's a pain in the ass, isn't he?